Today we're looking at Halloween-themed Magic the Gathering cards. So think up your, I don't know, your pumpkins, your spirits, ghosts. I don't know if is there any candy in Magic the Gathering lore. We're gonna start it all off with All Hallows Eve. Card I'm familiar with, but I've never actually read it. Black, 2 generic, sorcery. Exile All Hallows Eve with 2 scream counters on it. This is like some old version of Suspend. At the beginning of your upkeep, if All Hallows Eve is exiled with a scream counter on it, remove a scream counter from it. Again, at the beginning of your upkeep. If there are no more scream counters on it, put it into your graveyard, and each player returns all creature cards from his graveyard to the battlefield. Well, now I understand why this thing is like $500. People love bringing the cards back. They love dumping all their creatures into the graveyard and, I don't know, reanimating them in one big glorious army. That's how it works around here. Memphis says, All Hallows Eve. Beat me to it, literally first card I thought of. I'm sure we're going to hear a ton of people talk about All Hallows Eve. We got to be a little bit more imaginative. So the next card, and it's got the jack-o'-lantern. Even it looks like the jack-o'-lantern is actually coming alive. But next card will be the jack-o'-lantern. For 1 mana, pumpkins aren't very expensive if it's only 1. Why is it? Well, shouldn't this be a food of some sort? Anyway, artifact. Pay 1, tap, sacrifice jack-o'-lantern, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, draw a card. Or pay 1, exile jack-o'-lantern from your graveyard, add 1 mana of any color. So it can be a filter land, and also it can be a source of, basically, graveyard hate. I don't know what, like, thematically a jack-o'-lantern is supposed to be, but, you know, whatever. Well, look, what's the point of the jack-o'-lantern?
Like an ancient pagan thing.
But what does it do? Yeah, okay, it's an ancient...
It's just a lantern.
Is it supposed to ward off spirits? Is it supposed to protect you?
I think so.
Well, those are the questions we need answers to. All right, Cool King says, Baron Singer, that's right, we need vampires. Vampires are very... Are there any clowns in Magic the Gathering? It's funny, you're supposed to dress up as something, and usually people are dressing up as clowns. Okay, Baron Singer, we got for, I mean, if you're looking for the Halloween-themed EDH deck, we're basically building the deck list as we go. Black, 5 generic, 5/5 flyer. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Baron Singer this turn is put into a graveyard, put a +2/+2 counter on Baron Singer, and tap or generate another target vampire. Not a very exciting vampire, but I believe that this is like a big main character within the Magic the Gathering lore.
How come we haven't seen him around lately?
I don't know. I don't play vampires. Not a vampire person. Ethan Berger, Relentless Dead. What would Halloween be without zombies? The zombie apocalypse. Black for a 2/2 menace creature. When Relentless Dead dies, you may pay a black. If you do, return it to its owner's hand. Which I find is like a little bit clunky. I played with this card quite a bit. It's like, as a zombie deck, as a tribal deck, you usually don't have a whole lot of mana available to you because you're always tapping out to play your creatures. When Relentless Dead dies, you can pay X, which you won't have. If you do, return another target zombie creature card with convertiment cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. Great abilities. Very hard to pull off, though. Very, very hard to pull off. Mikey J says, clowns in MTG, there are several, but they're buying the 30th edition reprinted boosters. Clowns are now...
That's pretty good.
Clowns are now in Infinity. Also, the Walking Dead secret layers. Oh, I don't know. Oh, what was Rick? Does this count? Where's Rick? There is it. There he is. Rick, steadfast leader. I'm not really familiar with the Walking Dead. All I know is this guy. I don't watch. Where is the Walking Dead from? Is that from Netflix? Am I embarrassing myself?
AMC+.
I don't know what that is.
Just AMC, rather.
Okay, white, 2 generic for a 3/4. As Rick enters the battlefield, you can choose 2 abilities from among First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. Humans you control have each of those of the chosen abilities. As long as you control 4 or more humans you control get +2/+2. Good stuff, Rick. Everyone's gonna suggest All Hallows Eve. Although That was the first. That was the starting card to spur the conversation. All right, PM with the Reaper King as the commander. The Reaper King. Oh, did I not do this correctly? Oh, sorry. It was just Reaper King. Oh, the Scarecrow. Good call. And I don't even know how to describe this mana cost. It's too bizarre. It's like option of green or 2 generic, and for each, color in the color pie, for a 6/6 Scarecrow. How many Scarecrows are there out there? Because this is a Lord for Scarecrows. Other Scarecrow creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever another Scarecrow comes into play under your control, destroy target permanent. It's like this card was built around the whole Scarecrow. I don't know, the Scarecrow tribal, but I am familiar with only basically this Scarecrow. Was it? I guess it's true. Well, what do you mean secret? This could have been a secret lair drop from like 2 years ago. I mean, it's relatively recent. I like this one. Next says creepy doll. Don't forget to take your creepy doll with you when you go trick-or-treating. At what age did you guys stop trick-or-treating, if you even do it? I don't know. Some of you might be from Asia and you're like, now you're familiar with Halloween, but what is this weird thing people go around and collect candy from people? When did we stop? No, we definitely went past 10. I don't know, maybe 13 was the breaking point. Creepy doll. 5 mana for 1/1. Indestructible creature that will stare at you all day, all night. And as you move, the head turns and looks at you. That's what makes the card creepy. Whenever Creepy Doll deals combat damage to a creature, flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy that creature. You don't think about it, but I mean, any of this stuff is creepy. I mean, it's a 1/1 doll that gets up and can attack things. Imagine some doll in the corner just starts getting up. I mean, that's the real creep. Is this really a doll? It's like a puppet in the background. It's 5. Yeah, it costs 5 mana. It's ridiculous. Ooh, I like that one. Bean Pot. Black Cat. Isn't it like enters, like dies, you discard a card or some crap like that? Black 1 generic for a 1/1 zombie cat. When Black Cat dies, target opponent discards a card at random. That's right. That's what the Black Cat does. But it's got the meme eyes. So, what do we call that? When they like just give laser beams for eyes in the memes. In memes, yes, like you know, like
I'm a fire in my laser.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, moving on. Nightmare. Does anyone play this card? I know this is like a beginner card, and maybe it's such an old beginner card that no one plays it anymore. Where is it? I'm looking for.
Second row, top row.
There we go. Nightmare. I'm not familiar with that art. Not even familiar with this art. Where's the first Nightmare? There we go. This is the Nightmare I was talking about. They're reprinting Nightmare. Oh yeah, because I guess it was from beta. We're going back to beta. For black 5 generic. So for the cost of only 2 dark rituals, 1 dark ritual, 1 black lotus, and a land, you can have a star flying creature. Nightmare's power and toughness both equal the number of swamps its controller has in play. Is this deck going to make any sense in the end of it? We stopped trick-or-treating. And did anyone go trick-or-treating and then they just didn't give candy? They instead gave like a magic trick or something? Because you always ask, trick-or-treat. Okay, well, here's a trick. Now buzz off.
Why is there a USD price at the bottom, or no USD, but only euro?
They may not have prices to pull from because there's none available in inventory. Yeah, the laser eyes. Oh, Chains of Mephistopheles. That feels like a Halloween card. I'm not even going to try to read this card. It doesn't make any sense to me. I like it when people give me a non-templated version of this. It's like if you draw a card, you don't draw a card anymore. People discard cards. If the player, okay, if a player would draw a card except the first one that they draw in each of their draw steps, that player discards a card instead. If the player discards a card this way, they draw a card. If the player doesn't discard this way, they mill a card. Like, I don't even understand this card. This is one of those cards you have to play with, and then you sort of understand. You have to internalize it by actually just using it or playing against it. Otherwise, you know, reading it is impossible. It means nothing. The Kildoran Dead. What the hell? Your avatar is a QR code. In the replay, I'm gonna go check out what on earth you're peddling here. Kildoran Dead. Oh, the skeletons. Skeleton Tribal. Black 3/1 skeleton. When Kildoran Dead comes into play, sack a creature. Pay a black, regenerate the Kildoran Dead. Yeah, but well, it sucks too much to become part of Modern. That's the problem. I think we have tons of skeletons in Modern. It's not really that big of a deal. Isn't there like Lake of the Dead? Hold on, this reminds me, Lake of the Dead. Is this the card I was thinking? No, it was Alliances I was thinking about. There we go, Lake of the Dead. When Lake of the Dead comes into play, sacrifice a swamp or bury Lake of the Dead. You can add a black mana, or you can sack a swamp to add 4 black mana to your mana pool. Good God, that is actually quite insane. You just sack swamps and get 4 black mana. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Sounds like an absolute nightmare to play against. Michael Ing with the Bad Moon. All right, let's look at Bad Moon. I like the sound of that one. Bad Moon, black 1 generic. Black creatures get +1/+1. Isn't there like a more creepy older art for this? No, that was it? No, there we go. That was the OG Bad Moon. You see a little skull in the moon? It's watching you. It's not happy either. And it always follows you. The moon is always staring at you. It is. Why, you think I should play it in my Merfolk deck? Just gotta add those black Merfolk. It'll work out somehow. Nexus says Lord of the Pit. The demons. More demons. What did you guys dress up for in Halloween? Was I the Riddler ever? I was Two-Face. Yeah, there was the Batman phase. It was Two-Face one year. I think that was it. Yeah. Well, I'm not really a fan of the heroes. You know, it's not fun to dress up as the heroes in my opinion. I don't want to be Spider-Man or Superman or Batman or any of that stuff. All right, Lord of the Pit. Black, 4 generic for a 7/7 flying trampled demon. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack a creature other than Lord of the Pit. If you can't, Lord of the Pit will deal 7 damage to you. So what's the upside to this creature? You just have, and it's like all these lucky numbers. What do you think about that? 7 mana for a 7/7 creature? Flying and trample? No, it's 8 mana. They ruined it. Some people are criticized Grizzlebrand for that. They screwed that one up. Come on, Wizards of the Coast. It could have been a perfect card at 7 mana. My brother loves those cards. Yeah, you can pay some to 7 cards, but instead it's 8. No, they screwed it up. No, they ruined it. Well, I don't think Richard Garfield had anything to do with it. Richard Garfield makes things like the dredge mechanic. Grizzlebrand is not. Yes, because it's a bit stupid. It's a bit of a stupid card. Broman! Appetite. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, where's the super chat? Where's the sound effects? My brother said he was gonna, like, I don't know, pull out his phone and then play a sound effect in front of us whenever we have a super chat. Because I'm on vacation. Here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Appetite for brains. For those zombies. We all know the zombies like the brains. Black sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a card from it with converted mana cost 4 or greater and exile that card. I have to say, this deck, if you're to make a whole Halloween deck, it's not bad. Right? It's all coming together. We got hand disruption. We got creatures. We got removal. And before we get on to any more, we're going to look at more Halloween cards, but of course we got to look at our sponsors. Because I like my sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, Streets of New Capenna. Singles and sealed product 15% off. So if you're looking for, I don't know, the Campana lands, for example, everyone needs a Campana land. Ledger Shredder was from that set. And Bootlegger's Stash, a lot of good stuff from the streets. They had good stuff. If you know where to go, the streets are good. And of course, you can support the channel. And also, hold on, where's my stuff? There we go. 5% off using coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Supports the channel and gets yourself a further discount. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Your ability to play test every deck to prepare for your big tournaments. You're preparing for Magic 30. Are you preparing for the Magic Summit? Well, the place to play test is Magic the Gathering online with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_RUE. Alright, and now back to the Halloween cards. Where do you read that?
No, I'm just saying.
Is that even a card?
Yeah, it's the cat.
Cauldron Familiar. Oh yeah, you're right.
Chubby Meatball.
It's the Chubby Meatball cat. Well, this one's a little bit darker than Chubby Meatball. Chubby Meatball is just gray. Maybe at night, in nighttime, this one looks like Chubby Meatball. Okay, we're gonna go with, but you know what? You don't count because you're right next to me. Dance of the Dead. Are they dancing? Ooh. They dancing, all right. They're break dancing. Black what? Good God, there's a lot of words on this thing. Black, 1 generic, enchant creature card in graveyard, which is not intuitive at all. When dance. So if we can enchant creature cards in the graveyard, we should be allowed to tap cards in the graveyard. When Dance of the Dead enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature in a graveyard and gains enchant creature put onto the battlefield with Dance of the Dead. Put enchanted creature card onto the battlefield tapped under your control and attach Dance of the Dead to it. When Dance of the Dead leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. All that wording just for that? Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and doesn't untap. So you're like gonna come back and you're not even gonna do anything. You get like one big attack and then that's it. At the beginning of the upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, that player may pay a 1 and black if the player does untap that creature. Oh, I see. Okay, so you can untap it for like 2 mana. Wonder what the flavor for that one was. Okay, B Jackstraw Unmask. I don't remember what Unmask looks like. It's a black card. Yeah, good enough. A black 3 generic. You may remove a black card in your hand from the game instead of paying unmasked mana costs. Look at the top. Look at target player's hand and choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. I guess actually this is Halloween themed. They're wearing a mask. Don't we all? Glimmer Bairn, literally trick or treating. All right. All right. Jipe, Darren, Glimmer. Oh yeah, true story. Look at that. Man, that's like a dollar store Halloween costume. Glimmer Baron. 1 green for a 1/2 oof. Sacrifice a token. Glimmer Baron gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah, out there trick-or-treating. Got the candy. Got a little baggie over there. Hanging out with a frog. I don't think the deer's gonna give him that much candy though. Not gonna give them much candy. Childhood horror by Ellie. We got the childhood horror for a black 3 generic. It's a horror. It's a 2/2 flying with threshold. Gets +2/+2 and can't block. What makes something a horror? Is it like a spooky spirit? Is it bad spirits? I feel like this is we're going back into like the Djinn discussion. What's a Djinn? What's an Ifrit? And now I'm looking at it looks like this is like a ghost, but obviously it's a bad ghost. It's like the one that will scare you. And the good ghost is like Casper, the friendly ghost. That's right. Is there a Casper? No, there's nothing. Nothing for Casper. No friendly ghosts in this lore. Wojtek, the Ragman. Ragman.
Bottom.
Oh, there it is. Looks like he's hoarding toilet paper or something. Black, black, 2 generic for a 2/1 minion. Is that a creature type? Oh, it's human minion now. For a minion. Black, 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 tap. Target opponent reveals his or her hand and discards a creature card at random from it. Play this ability only during your turn. How does that work? So they reveal their hand. They have to discard a creature card at random. So you just choose all the creature cards and then they have to discard one of them. Rat colony. A few of you were calling out the rat colony. Yeah, what's Halloween without the rats? Black, 1 generic for a 2/1 rat colony gets +1/+0 for each other rat you control. A deck can have any number of cards named rat colony. You can have as many rats as you want. Are there any witches? Oh, just as I say that, Richie Dubs with the Witch's Cottage. There's a lot of witch cards. Witch's Cottage. Maybe we should just look up Cottage. There we go, Witch's Cottage.
That looks like Miyazaki.
This is like a really nice art. Too bad it's on an unplayable card. Witch's Cottage. It's a land. It's a swamp. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more other swamps. Then when Witch's Cottage enters the battlefield untapped, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Not quite what was the blue one? Mystical something? Mystic Sanctuary, that's what it was. For the years I called it Mystical Sanctuary. Rankle, Master of Pranks. This is more Disneyland than Halloween, but whatever. Black, black, 2 generic, 3/3. The Fairy Rogue. Flying Haste. When Rankle, Master of Pranks, deals combat damage to a player, choose any number. Each player discards a card. Each player loses 1 life and draws a card. And each player sacrifices a creature.
It's not just pox or whatever.
Pox? No, you have to choose. Oh, yeah, you could choose any number. But it's a repeatable pox. I never caught that. My brother's like, isn't that pox? You're right, it is pox. You discard a card, you lose life. Each player loses. Oh, but you draw a card instead of discarding a card. That's the difference. And not pox. Not pox-like at all. It's in that range, that domain. But not missing any super chats, am I? Straw Golem by Dominic. Would Blood Moon count? Probably. It would be pretty lame. I like all these cards I've never heard of before. Straw Golem. It's made up of broomsticks? I think it's completely made up of broomsticks. That's recycling for you in the MTG multiverse. 1 generic, 2/3. If an opponent successfully casts a summon or artifact creature spell, bury Straw Golem. That's terrible. Successfully cast a this card would have been back in the day versus a pure counter spell deck. So like you get the Straw Golem out turn 1, and then they're just sitting there with their mana leaks, counter spells, dazes, force of wills that they draw. They could have countered this on turn 1. Man, it's not that big even though, but I think back then 2/3 for 1 mana, that was broken. That was broken. Season of the Witch. This is Chen. Black, black, black enchantment. At the end of each player's turn, all of his or her untapped creatures that could have attacked but did not are destroyed. If you do not pay 2 life during your upkeep, Season of the Witch is destroyed. Okay, if you do not pay 2 life, that's expensive. Not too bad in Commander, though. Effects that prevent or redirect damage may not be used to counter this loss of life. What else do we got here? We've got Dead Dinosaur! Skeletal Grimace is genuinely unnerving, and I vividly remember cracking one when I started back in OG Innistrad. Skeletal Grimace. This guy looks like he's trolling. 1 black, 1 generic, an aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has pay a black, regenerate this creature.
He's pogging.
Oh, you know? Oh yeah, he is pog. That's what he is. He's pogging. It's the pog of Magic the Gathering. It's pogging. He's still got some skin on him. You see that? He's got the flesh around the ear and everything. That's what happens when you pog to the extreme. Pog. This is the limit. Don't pog and... Don't pog too much, people. Okay, we got Trevor Peebles with the super chat. Thank you so much. Good morning. Eater of Dead from the Dark is a visual masterpiece. Off to get mocha. I had a mocha the other day. It was delicious. You know what? Actually, embarrassingly, I was like, I want coffee with chocolate. And I was looking at all the extra flavorings that this this coffee shop had. They had like vanilla, hazelnut, etc., but no chocolate. I'm like, and I'm really thinking hard about my choice, and the server is like, okay, but what do you want? And I'm like, I want something cold, I want something with coffee, and I want something with chocolate. And they're just like, well, the mocha comes with chocolate. That's the whole point of it being a mocha. I'm like, of course. All right, mocha it is. Eater of the Dead. Do you think this is something that came out of Doom? Does it have a Doom-like essence to it?
No, because it's too much of an animal.
Okay. Black 4 generic 3/4 untap Eater of the Dead. Remove target creature card in a graveyard from the game. Untap it? So you can attack, then you untap, remove target creature card in a graveyard. This is actually not too bad. This is very unique graveyard hate. We just need more graveyard hate like this. It basically gives itself vigilance. Oh no, hold on. Okay, the flavor text is 0 if Eater of the Dead is tapped. Exile target creature card from a graveyard and untap Eater of the Dead. Oh, that is completely different. Why is the text so much... Okay, hold on, let me show you guys. The text is so much different from the...
This is modern, how it would be worded today, and then that's just how...
Yeah, but like, this is completely different. In the templating, it looks like untapping Eater of the Dead is part of the cost, when really... You actually have to exile a creature card from a graveyard to untap it. Because if you don't, then you're going to have no target and it's not going to untap. Weird. Very Halloween-like, though. Absolutely. Trevor Peebles. Good morning. Eater of the Dead from the Dark is... Whoops. Sorry. Thank you very much, Trevor. We very much appreciate your super chats. We got... Vagula's Fear. Treacherous Urge. The urge to be treacherous. Black 4 generic. Instant. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You may put a creature card from it into play under your control. That creature gains haste, and then you have to sack it at end of turn. Okay, well, there's a little bit of a reasonable clause. Well, look what he's doing. He's sawing himself. Look what I can do. Well, he's missing completely. He's cutting himself. To be free, I have to just cut off my torso. Electronic with the brain maggot. This is in people's brain who play a Christmas music in shop during Halloween. You know, people, stores these days, they gotta get in early for Halloween, for Christmas. Once they see that no one's buying any more stuff for Halloween because they were selling it back in August, then they start getting into the Christmas stuff. All right, Halloween sales are done. Let's start selling Christmas trees, even though Halloween isn't even done yet. Black 1 generic for a 1/1. When Brain Maggot enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand, and you choose an online card from it. Exile that card until Brain Maggot leaves the battlefield. What do we have here? Oh, Lord Magicus, a Haunting Wind, Headless Horseman. Oh, you got all of them here, all the spooky ones. All right, let's look at Haunting Wind. Actually, we should have done the Headless Horseman one. Black 3 generic enchantment. Each time an artifact... Where are these all coming from? Antiquities? This doesn't seem like a Halloween-themed set. Antiquities. It's like more like an artifact set. Each time an artifact in play is tapped or its activation cost is paid, Haunted Wind deals 1 damage to that artifact's controller. Is not triggered by continuous artifacts. I have no idea what that means. Whenever an artifact... Well, they just got rid of it. Is not triggered by continuous artifacts. The hell is a continuous artifact? We got... Oh, Sloyum with Frankenstein's Monster. Is anyone triggered by that? They put Frankenstein in Magic the Gathering. Anyone triggered? Does that break the canon? Frankenstein's monster, black, X01. When Frankenstein's monster is brought into play, if you do not take X creatures from your graveyard and remove them from the game, Frankenstein's monster is countered. For each creature removed from your graveyard in this way, you may choose to give Frankenstein's monster a permanent +2/+0, a +1/+1, or a +0/+2. That is neat. And they sort of brought that back because they you know, they're bringing back like just bizarre, strange counters. Okay, Semeruf, Uncle Istvan. Never heard of it. Oh, good God. You don't want to go trick-or-treating to this guy's place. Black, 1 generic for a 1/3 human. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Uncle Istvan by creatures. I don't understand. This guy looks like he has death touch. If you touch him, he's gonna put your skull on his axe because he collects these damn things. He'll decorate himself in your bones. You like all the ones modern legal? Should we make a modern Halloween deck? I would do it, except no one would watch the damn thing. People would come for the deck tech to see all the Halloween cards I chose to play, and then they go straight to the end of the video. They don't need to see the gameplay. I might as well make videos like that. Here's the deck tech, and then you see no gameplay. All right, this is my result. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Might as well do something like that. The one who knocks, Army of the Damned. I can't hear the music. What happened to the music? Oh, it's there. I can't hear it over my fan and all the drilling going on here. Army of the Damned. Black, 5 generic. Sorcery. Create 13 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. That's a lot of tokens! And you can flash it back for black, 7 generic. So, like, just... Oh, no. Actually, the flashback is just more expensive. It's just 10 mana. 8 mana, create that many zombies. That's insane. It's for the zombie deck. Please, Marcelli says, please check Demonic Tutor Judge promo, the one with the creepy girl. Check the flavor text. Flavor text counts as well. So if you know a card with great Halloween flavor text. So we want... Which one? Oh, the one with the doll, the creepy doll. The one with the creepy girl. With a creepy doll. Demonic Tutor, black 1 generic. Sorcery, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library, totally broken. Oh my God, look at that. Look at the logo. Look at the set symbol. That's 10 out of 10 set symbol. Where's that from? It's a little owl. Anyway, moving on. Mama says it's my imagination, but I know you'd never lie to me. Talking to the doll. Okay, so, oh, I think we did this one already. Michael with Hailfire. Do you like this episode?
Sure.
My brother, huge fan of demons and ghouly things. Black, 2 generic. Sorcery, destroy all non-black creatures. Hellfire deals X plus 3 damage to you, where X is the number of creatures put in all graveyards this way. No, a lot of that. You know, it seems like way back in the day was when they like really pushed Halloween or very demonic stuff. These days it's like, meh, who cares? Oh, we got a super chat from Barrington. Maybe you've already covered this. The jack-o'-lantern. I did, but I'll cover it one more time for you. Jack-o'-lantern.
Did you mean Jace O'Lantern?
No, I did not mean Jace or Lantern. Got the. I mean, this. Who makes pumpkins? Who buys pumpkins anymore? Does anyone eat the seeds? Anyway, the jack-o'-lantern. And why is it when a pumpkin is left out for a few days, it like collapses in on itself? Does it get soggy?
It's rotting.
It's
decomposing.
It's a living, breathing organism. Frosty the Ghost Man. Oh, man. Perfect timing. From under the floorboards or Dollhouse of Horrors. I think from under the floorboards. We've got a black 3 generic sorcery with a madness of XX. Sorry, a black and X. Create 3 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens and you gain 3 life. But if this spell's madness cost was paid, instead create X of those tokens and you gain X life. Put the zombie decks out there. Ooh, I like this one. Yago, Bump in the Night. Good call. Was the cartoon called Bump in the Night?
Yes.
Love Bump. What were the characters? I don't remember. Squishy.
Molly. Closet Monster. I can't remember.
I don't remember any of them. No, I don't have a memory for. I remember the show. For anyone, was that exclusive? It was exclusively Canadian, so only a fraction of the viewer base will have any idea what we're talking about. Okay, so Bump in the Night, black. Sorcery. Target opponent loses 3 life. Flashback for a red and 5 generic. Very rarely. This used to be a staple, actually, of burn decks, but then they went white and didn't go back. One day they'll make a great black-red burn spell, and they'll go back. Like, I don't know, black-red, target player loses 4 or 5 life or something like that. Damn, sensory deprivation. Ooh, that's creepy.
They can still talk though.
They can still see. It's not like their eyes are completely shut. It's just highly sewn together. And they can't, yeah, they can sort of talk. Yeah, but it's useless. Enchanted creature gets -3, -0.
I don't know, that would be pretty good against
Ragavan?
and Dragon's Rage Chandler and
Imagine I play like sensory deprivation and get a 5/0. Oh, God, look at that. Yeah, it does do something versus Dragon Rage Chandler.
neuters them completely.
Dragon Rage Chandler puts a big hurt on what's it called? What's the stupid creature? Ledger Shredder. Yeah, okay. It's new. This is very untapped blue-red Murktide tech. Circle of Ether. Cerise of Ether. Thank you so much. Descent into Madness from Boulder. Is this super chat's like disabled or something? Poor Boulder. Descent into Madness, black 3 generic enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a despair counter on Descent into Madness. Then each player exiles X permanents he or she controls and or cards from his or her hand, where X is the number of despair counters on Descent into Madness. The stairs lead down in both directions. That doesn't make any sense. What, they can go up and down? The stairs lead down in both directions. So you can end up going up somehow. Cemetery Gate by Sloyom. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Black 2 generic. For a wall? Oh, it's literally a gate holding back the zombies and other demons. Protection from black. Of course it would.
Not modeling.
Yeah, too powerful. Can't put Cemetery Gate in the format. It would hold back. Black creatures are there at all? Are there any right now? All the good creatures like red, white. Oh, Grief. It would hold back Grief, I guess. Can't let Grief get out of control. Trevor Peebles, Change of Mephistopheles. Ever read Faust? Hold on. Is that a card? We looked at Chains of Mephistopheles earlier, so is Faust a card? I've never read Faust, if that's a... Oh man. Okay, this doesn't appear to be a card. For you, Trevor. Yeah, we'll put the chains back up. They're gonna chain you up. Take you away. This guy ain't clowning around.
Except with all that text on it.
My brother said this card's not clowning around except for all the text on the card. Taters! Good day. All Hallows Eve or Ancient Tomb. We did All Hallows Eve, but we didn't do Ancient Tomb. Is this? Oh, yeah, the OG one, for sure. Super ancient. How many people did they put in that tomb? Everyone's hanging out like it's a, I don't know, it's like a bar. Add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Ancient Tomb deals 2 damage to you. I need to own an Ancient Tomb. I don't have any Ancient Tombs. Apparently this is good in Commander. It's not too expensive. And it helps play my expensive cards. The expensive spells. Torayawat says hostile. Ooh, the hostile hostel. That's right. In Innistrad, they got all the scary stuff. It's a land. Tap for 1 colorless mana. Pay 1 tap. Sack a creature. Put a soul counter on hostile hostel. Then if there are 3 or more soul counters on it, remove those counters. Transform it. Then untap it. Activate only as a sorcery. And it becomes a 3/7 something. Creeping in. 3/7. Whenever creeping in attacks, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with creeping in. You can also pay 4 to phase it out. That's a weird ability to have at the end. How is that? Yeah, instead of Howl's moving castle, Howl's moving in. Calcifer. Let's move it, Calcifer. Triox 64, The Gaze of Pain. Black 1 generic, sorcery. For each creature you control that attacks and is not blocked, you may choose to have it deal no damage to defending player this turn. If you do so, it instead deals damage equal to that power to any target creature. Remove the guardians to ensure your victory. The hell is that? Well, anyway, that's a lame flavor text. Are these AI generated? These are all real cards. They're all completely real cards. Alexander with, let's look at Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp. Never heard of this card. Wait, I think it's Will-O-the-Wisp. For a 0/1 Spirit Wall for a black, flying, regenerate, Will-O-the-Wisp. But there's a flavor. You know, we gotta talk the flavor text. What's the point of reading these cards without the flavor text? On dark nights, you can still see the light of the Vess's girl's lantern out in the Caligo, seeking her lost brother. Those who follow are doomed to join her endless search. The fall of the House of Vess. Village Cannibals. Black 2 generic. Oh god. They're very hungry. Whenever another human creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Village Cannibals. Okay, Wojtek says Pestilence, but check the OG art. Pestilence. Okay, we're going back to the beginning. Oh god! This is creepy as hell. In some sense. Black, 2 generic. Enchantment, yeah, and then pay a black, do a damage to each creature. Deal 1 damage to each creature and each player. And then if there are no creatures left on the battlefield, sack it. Sacrifice it. This is very, very, very creepy. Could tell why people thought this was, you know, enchanting the souls of our children at the time. Crow Care Games, thank you so much for the super chat. Tapping at the window or no way out. Tapping at the window. That sounds creepy. It's like, trick or treat! And like the lights aren't on. You know, you don't turn your lights on. People are trick or treating at your door. And then they start tapping at your window. Oh, that's a little too much. Green, 1 generic. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. Flashback for a green and 2 generic. The Reaper King. Oh, did we look at this one? Or is this another yeah, we looked at this one. We looked at the Reaper King. Sparky says Elder Deep Fiend looks scary. Some people are turned on by tentacles and some people aren't. Although I have to say, if this was
Never cool.
yes, who has more who's the tentacle master? Elder Deep Fiend or an Emrakul? Or it's like it's a combination of both actually. Because it's an Eldrazi octopus. They combine both tentacles together to make the super tentacle creature. Village Rites has similar art to Village Cannibals. Which one? Like an old one? Oh yeah, you're right. All right, we're gonna eat you. So you're not sacking the creature, we're actually devouring them. Well, they are the sacrifice for the village. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. You were so eager to take and consume, yet when asked to give, you refuse. Well, it's better to be eating than to be eaten. This is the real dog-eat-dog world over here. Oh, Chen says living wall. Is it that the creepy wall? It is. I think is this fetus wall? It's a very disgusting wall. Where's the fetus? I can't remember. There's a fetus in here. Oh, I think no. Yeah. It's just a snap dab in the center. I was looking for it like in the corners of the thing. Living wall. Very disgusting. Very disgusting image. The deeper it's like the longer you look at it, the worse it gets. Defender, pay 1, regenerate living wall, 0/6 creature. They really supported wall back then, I'm gonna say. No, it is reasonable. It's so reasonable that it's useless. It's too reasonable. Oh, actually, here's who just Ellie suggested Dark Rituals. I should just put Dark Ritual. Okay, hold on. Let's look at all prints. What's I guess that's the classic. That's a classic one. Conducting your spells with your Book of Evil.
This version of this card is a non-standard magic deck. It is not legal for constructed play.
Well, it wasn't designed for it, but we know people are going to do it anyway. My favorite, though, is the masks. All right, I don't know if I can say this is my favorite. I remember back in the day, I really liked this art for Dark Ritual. And maybe it has something to do with the fact that, you know, I started around the Masks block era. I have Twilight, give us sight. Take our offer, give us might. Make our power tears of night. But then when I think by today's standards, I actually like this one the most. I like the art the better. I think it has a better composition. It feels dark to me too. It's dark stuff. Tutors, one more. Demonic Hordes from Alpha or... Okay, let's look at... I don't know if we did Demonic Hordes. Maybe we did. Black, 3 generic for a 5/5 demon. That's not bad. Tap, destroy target land. At the beginning of your upkeep, unless you pay black, tap Demonic Hordes or sack a land of an opponent's choice. What? Tap Demonic Hordes and sacrifice a land? Oh, of an opponent's choice. I thought the upkeep cost, if you don't pay it, then you get to destroy more of your opponent's lands. All the little gremlins are coming out to come get you. Who have I not got yet? Gareth! Kumbai Witches. Wasn't there some hype over this card and now it's just dead? Black 1/3 human wizard. Kumbai Witches deals 1 damage to any target and 1 damage to any target of an opponent's choice. Okay, forget it. I think this is the card, though. I think the deal is the card has a beautiful art, but the card itself is useless. Really, really good art on this one. Okay, Calantera says, Asmarana Market, that's not cool Dakar. Somebody needs to prepare the food for the Halloween party. Of course. Oops, what am Looking up Kalantaris. Asmaran. Asmaran is good enough. Asmarana Mardica Dastina Kuldakar. Man, I don't want to live wherever they name people. Because it must be insanely difficult to remember everybody's name. Of course, it's the 3/3 that makes food. As long as you discarded a spell, you can pay a black or a red to cast this spell. As Moranica Mardikadasna Kuldakar enters the battlefield, you could search your library for a card named the Underworld Cookbook. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. It's spicy candy. Sacrifice 2 foods. Target creature deals 6 damage to itself. You know, okay, I'm in America, and actually you have a really good candy here. And I know it's the land of, like, you know, the land of lard. You have way more sugary nonsense than we do in Canada. But I really admired this peanut with, like, a red sort of candy coating to it. What's it called? Burnt peanuts. Delicious. Really addicting. I think it's the crunchiness to it like makes it so good. Just can't put it down. And you know, it's only one more, and it's only one more, and then I have another one, and before I know it, I've eaten the whole bowl. We've got who else? Damn, I don't think we got something from you today. Stalker Hag Creepy. Stalker Hag. Looks like a zombie. What makes you a hag? Okay, so for Golgari Hybrid, Golgari Hybrid, Golgari Hybrid, we have a 3/2 Swamp Walk and Forest Hawk. Sorry, Forest Walk. Her hunt is silent until a bone snaps or flesh tears. Her victims never know to scream. Is she topless? I think she's topless. Goes into the category. There's a lot of nude cards actually in Magic the Gathering. It's all, this one's hidden by the shadows, but you know, if you look deep enough, there's a lot of nudity in Magic the Gathering art. Trevor Peebles, grafted skullcap from Urza Saga. Grafted skullcap. The hell is this? Oh, but you want Urza Saga. What is this invention? Pay for artifact. During your draw phase, draw an additional card. At the end of each of your turns, discard your hand. Let go your mind. Mine is says X Yawgmoth Praetor. Ah, it's like the analog version of getting into the Matrix. Oh, I am Petra. I don't think we did Headless Horseman. Oh, did they have to show the sort of bloody thing over here? It's red at the neck area. Black 2 generic for a 2/2. Summon Horseman. And it's just all flavor text. The ghost rides forth to the scene of battle in nightly quest of his head. He sometimes passes along the hollow, like a midnight blast. Washington Irving, The Legend of the Sleepy Hollow. Oh, I don't think we did Trisk-eyed something like that. Triskophobia. Does anyone build any decks around this? Black 3 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one. Each player with exactly 13 life loses the game. Then each player gains 1 life. Each player with exactly 13 life loses the game. Then each player loses 1 life. You cannot escape. This is like a very slow win condition if you got the whole board locked out. It's like everyone's locked out. Oh, how is he going to win the game? Triskophobia. All right, we're done here. Eric says, did Nikachu Macabre Waltz? Macabre... Is this a card? Oh, it is. From Magic Origins. Is this the same art? Oh, it's completely different art. Macabre Waltz, black 1 generic. Sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. All dead, move to the hollow rhythm of necromancy. Well, you know, dancing is good for your health. It's like a form of exercise. I admire the people who have those Dance Revolution. Like they've got the full official like arcade setup with yeah, the actual pads. They have it in their like garage or something. I could be into that. But that sort of flat pad that you put on the ground, no, that's no good enough. That is absolute garbage trash. We got Danny with the Phyrexian Unlife. Very creepy. White 2 generic enchantment. You don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. As long as you have 0 or less life, all damage is dealt to you as though its source had infect. I get the sense Slayeom loves the Halloween stuff. Day of the Dead. Does not exist. Day of the Dead. Day. I'll just look up of the Dead and see if there's anything. Oh, maybe Dawn of the Dead. There's the Drift of the Dead. The Dreams of the Dead. I think it's Dawn. I think they're going for Dawn of the Dead. All right, black, 2 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to play. That creature gains haste until end of turn. Remove it from the game at end of turn. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. Oh, this is, yeah, ad nauseum. Good call, Danny. This is actually quite a creepy card when you look at it. It's with his limbs and everything is peeling off his face.
Oh, you know, some of this design is there's an enemy in Half-Life 2 that's very similar to this.
Oh yeah, there's an enemy in Half-Life.
Half-Life 2.
What, it like decays in front of you?
No, he's got like the stubs for the arms with machinery, like exactly like that.
Okay, gotcha.
I wonder if they actually ripped this off.
Oh, probably. They've done it before. Artists ripping or getting inspiration. You know, don't call it ripping off. It's called inspiration in the art world. To some people. Reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. You may repeat this process any number of times. When the task spilled over into undeath, he stopped calling it his life's work. Arkia asks, what is your favorite spooky MTG art? Do you have one?
Grist.
Oh yeah, I actually find, this is very rarely, is it this art?
Yeah, no.
I find this is actually one of the few magic arts that are quite disturbing. I mean, it's very nightmare material. I mean, you see this sort of skull face, and then it turns into like something like Slender or like Salad Fingers or something. Salad Fingers meets some weird feathers meets Skullman, and it's very red looking. Eric's like, Jesus, that's effed up. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's also modern.
Oh, and Surgical Extraction also has a creepy art. This is moved from Halloween theme to just creepy stuff in general. I'm assuming this one with the spine ripped out of somebody's body. Now you're spineless and skullless. There's some other ones though too. There's this one. This one's a little bit more cartoony though.
Oh yeah. Finally free.
Kyle says Contagion. This one? I think. Oh, not yeah. So we're on Halloween theme. Black, 3 generic. Got a little kitty here, but it's an instant. You may pay 1 life and remove a black card in your hand from the game, rather than pay Contagion's mana cost. Distribute 2 minus... oops, hide the comment. Distribute 2 -2/-1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures. This is the Force of Will of Black. This is actually not terrible, but it's not good either. That's for sure. But it's not bad. It can kill kill creatures for 2 toughness. Which, by the way, could be early played creatures. Psychotog? This is a pretty disgusting Psychotog. They look so different. So here's like the OG one. which is not too bad. It looks like some sort of cartoon comic book thing. And then we got this one. Looks like some E.T. meets Mewtwo meets, I don't know, some alien.
That is very Mewtwo-like, actually. Strangely Mewtwo-like.
Lord Magica says, Sickening Shoal is one of the most disturbing arts I can think of. That's right, we're... Of course, this is the fishy one. It's just a bunch of fish barfing in circles. There's an... Oh, oldest shoals had fish, I think, actually. Yeah, oldest shoals had fish circling around. You can remove a black card with converted mana cost X in your hand from the game rather than pay Sickening Shoals mana cost. Target creature gets -X until end of turn. This is when everyone in the home has stomach flu. It spreads fast. You heard that sound. It means it's over. Well, all good things must come to an end. So thank you very much, everyone. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. If you want to be part of the show, just be here Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you so much for the super chats. It keeps the show going, and I will keep doing the show even when I'm on vacation. But most importantly, thank you for all showing up, because without you guys, there would be no show. You guys are the show. You are what makes Coffee and MTG. Without my coffee crew, no, I'm completely useless. So as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.